Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you the makeup items and brushes that I use every day. These are some of my very favorite brushes. And as I show you the product that I use them with, I'll show you each one individually with the product. And here's one of my very favorite travel cases. I got this one from Target. And I don't know if you can see, but on the zipper pull it says Sonia Kashuk, and that's the brand. I really like the butterfly pattern and the bright colors. And normally it's not quite this full when I travel, but I thought that when I did this video I should show you a couple of my favorite things for each category of makeup. And now it has this nice area for makeup brushes, and you can just tuck them in. And the plastic keeps them nice and protected. Of course, today I had too many brushes and I could not fit them all in here. It also came with a small matching pouch, and in here I put my lip products, which I'll save for later. So here we have 2 sets of foundation and primer. The one I'm currently using is the Hourglass Mineral Primer with Ale. This is the large value size one at 2 ounces. And then I have the Hourglass Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation, and it's mattifying and oil-free. And together, and this is my favorite combination of all time. Now I don't put the primer on first and then the foundation. What I'll do is I'll take some primer and I'll put it on the back of my hand. And then I'll take the foundation and I'll pump it into the primer. And then I'll mix them together, and then I'll apply them to my face with the brush. I find that if I use this without a lotion or a primer mixed with it, it can look a little cakey, but the combination is perfect. It's long lasting. I don't even need to set it with powder, and it does not transfer. So although the foundation is expensive, I find that it's worth it if that's all I'm using. And my other favorite combination for when my skin is a little drier or maybe has some flaking is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizing Primer, and this is the mattifying primer. It is a nice small dispenser, and I'll put it on the back of my hand and then apply it to my face. And these two I do not mix together. I do the primer, and then I use this Pore Refining Solution foundation from Clinique. I find that it's affordable, more so than this. It has a really nice finish, and it works well in the winter time when my skin might be a little drier. And it too has a small dispenser, and I'll add it to the back of my hand and then apply with a makeup brush. This one does transfer more than this one, so if I was going to wear a white collared shirt, or I was worried about that, I would not use this one. And then some of my favorite foundation brushes. Are these three. And you can see that these two are angled, and they're very soft and dense, and they don't irritate my skin, and they make foundation application really quick. This is the IT Cosmetics brushes for Ulta. It's the Velvet Luxe Flawless Face angled brush, and this is the Face 2 brush by Marc Jacobs. And both of these are pretty expensive, but my favorite brush of all time for foundation is the beautiful finish Bare Minerals Kabuki brush. And normally this has a black handle, but this came in a kit and had a special handle. I find that the looser, less dense outer circle and the super soft, dense inner area make blending super easy and quick. And if I could go back, I would replace more of my brushes with this one. And it's the most affordable of the three. I also forgot that I have a Bobbi Brown foundation stick in the color Cool Beige. And this is super handy for touch-ups or I use it almost more of a concealer type product if I have some redness to cover. I'll apply this after my foundation just to cover things up a little bit better. So I really like that as well. I don't use this all over because I have oily skin and this just doesn't work all over as a foundation for me, but it's perfect for spot areas. So next, after foundation, I usually do my eyes. And right now I have a ton of eyeliners, but these are my current favorites. And for some reason, almost every day I've been using this Sephora retractable waterproof eyeliner in the color Olive, and it has a nice dark olivey color with a slight shimmer, and I find it looks good with my brown eyes and pretty much any makeup look I go for. My other ones, these two are the same. This one is empty and this one is my current open one. It came in a winter kit, and it's the color Brown Out by Marc Jacobs, and I had used this one every day until it ran out, and now I'm using the small one. Next up is a Chanel Stylo waterproof pencil in the color 997 Orchid or Orchidy, and I like to wear a lot of purple, and sometimes I really want to see the purple on my eyes. Wear a lot of purple. Eyeliners are so dark they come off as black. This one is very vibrant and I like it a lot. And this is an old favorite from Tarantino, and it's the Eye Dream Hyperliner in the color Puppeteer, and this is well loved and is another brown based, but it's a little bit warmer than the Marc Jacobs, with just a slight hint of purple or a burgundy undertone, and I find it looks good with almost any eyeshadow look. So these are my current go-to eyeliners. I don't use liquid eyeliner on a daily basis, but I do use these. And then for mascaras, I have a ton of mascaras, so I usually have just a random one open, and that's this Clinique High Impact Extreme Volume, and I do like it, even though the brush is enormous. I don't find it too messy, and the one before this I was using the It Cosmetics, and even though it had a smaller brush, it was so messy and yucky, I didn't like it. And then I don't have this one open yet, but the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara is one of my all-time favorites, so I brought it down to show you. And on my lower lashes, I like to use this little sample I have, and it's the MAC False Lashes, and I have a ton of these samples, so I don't have a full size. Okay. I'll just take the rest that was in the travel bag out, and I also have more off to the side that wouldn't fit in the bag, so I'll show you that too. So if I do a cream shadow, my two favorites are the Chanel New Moon and it's a kind of a taupey purple brown amethyst color. And I wear this a lot in the summertime because I love the sparkle. And I'll just use this alone without anything else. And then I've got this Tom Ford Pink Haze Cream Shadow. And this is a pinky rose gold type color, and I find that it wears well and it's a nice, easy color to wear. I love those. And then if I decide to do some concealer, which I don't always because I wear glasses, and the glasses cover up a lot of any under eye circles. So I use something light, like the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy, and I just apply a small amount. The tip comes out a little bit, and then this cool metal applicator helps to rub the product into the skin and reduce any puffiness you might have. And to set that, or to add a little bit more coverage, I use this Bare Minerals concealer in the shade Well Rested. And it's just a light colored yellow toned powder. And you just blend in. And it has a brightening effect. And it creases a little bit, but I found that most concealers crease a little bit on me. And now for my favorite makeup product of all time. This was a tough choice to narrow down for you guys, but I just grabbed the two blushes that I've been using the most, and they both happen to be boxed blushes. The first one is the Rockatour from Benefit, and it comes with a little brush, which you can see I use, and I really like this brush. And then I like this blush so much, I've actually hit pan in the center. And this is the second blush I've had, and I've never used any other blush to completion. And the color is nice. It's a universal color. I think it works for a lot of people. And it's a nice sort of mauve color, very neutral, pinky, a little bronzy. I feel like if I wear this, I don't need a bronzer to warm my face up, because this blush has sort of a bronzing, warming effect. And then the next one is the Too Faced Sweetheart Blush, Perfect Flush Blush in Peach Beach. And this is super adorable and has 3 different sections. One is more of a bronze rose, and the middle actually looks really similar to the Rock-Tour. You can see they look pretty similar. And then more of a champagne gold highlight color. And while this is a satin finish, I'd say this is more shimmery. And I tend to stick mostly with these two colors and a little bit of this. And it comes out to be nice. Shimmery peach color to wear. Everything might look a little more yellow. I had to shut the curtains, so there's no natural light today. And these are some of my very favorite blushes. And then random is my favorite hand and nail cream, and it's from Caudalie. This is the 1 ounce size, and it's just a very nice, moisturizing, fast absorbing lotion, and I have one in my purse all the time. And it smells a little like Fruit Loops, which I like. I guess next we can do all the lip products. I'll show the brushes at the very end because I have not been showing them. So, since I got braces, I found I don't wear as much lipstick, especially the mattes, because they dry out my lips too much. So these are mostly hydrating lipsticks or colored balms or glosses. First is my favorite lip balm of all time, and it's the Caudalie lip conditioner, and I got these two in a set. And this smells a little bit like Fruit Loops as well. And I just keep coming back to it. And I've gone through several tubes, which also means it must be a favorite. Next up is the Clarins Instant Light Natural Lip Perfector, and the tube matches my nails pretty good. And this is the color 01, and I think it's just called Rose, but there's no name on it. This smells like vanilla birthday cake, and it has just a light pink tint, but it makes my lips feel very moisturized, and they just look kind of juicy and glossy and nice. It took me a while to purchase this, but I'm so glad I did. And now I have other colors as well. These are my two Estee Lauder products, and this is my favorite lipstick of all time. It's the Pure Color Envy Sculpting Lipstick in the color Desirable, and it's the perfect nude for me. I've used quite a bit. It doesn't have its shape anymore. I find that this is one of the most comfortable lipsticks to wear. It's fairly long-lasting, and more than anything is the shade. It's my perfect shade. And then this is the Pure Color Lip Lacquer in Vinyl Rose, and I think it's a very similar color to Desirable. Let's see, it's almost an exact match. So this is a very sticky formula, so if you don't like sticky, it won't be for you, but I find it's one of the most longer lasting gloss lacquer type products, and whenever I do wear this, I get quite a few compliments on my lip color, so I'm okay with this sticky. Next up are two really easy to wear products, and this is the Lancome Lip Lover in the color 313, but I like all of them, so I don't think the color matters as much. And this one is just a nice neutral pink, and I think you can see the theme for my everyday lip products. And then from MAC, I really like the Pat and Polish lip pencil lines, and I have a handful, but I picked Kittenish to show you because it was my everyday go-to color for a while, and it's really nice. It's a little more of a raspberry tone than the others, but still just a nice rosy everyday color. Okay, and then off to the side here I have two of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and I don't hear a lot about this brand, but I love everything I've gotten from Tarantino, and a lot of times her products will be on Outlook, so you can get a discount. And sometimes I enjoy a smaller palette with less options, so it's just a little more straightforward on what to do. And this I used on my sister-in-law when she got married to my brother. I did her makeup, and she has hazel eyes, and it looked so good on her that I love this for a green palette. It's called Wonderful. And then the other one is called Dreamy. This is just more warm colors. And we'll do a couple, show you just how intense the colors are. So I hope you can see how vibrant the copper is, champagne, a dark color that reminds me of MAC's Beauty Marked, but way better. And then just a nice cool tone taupey brown. And I've used these quite a bit. And each time they're very easy to use, and I always like the end product. And of all my eyeshadow palettes, I think I like this one from Laura Mercier the best. It's still available, but it has a different package now, and it's the Laura Mercier Artist Palette, and you can find it at Sephora and other places. And because I have brown eyes, I find that I really enjoy all the purples and the colors in this palette. So here's Kir Royal, Plum Smoke, African Violet, and Guava. Two, three, and four. And just those would make a super pretty eye look. So because I enjoy the selection of colors and the quality of the eyeshadows, I've used this one quite a bit, and it's one of my favorites. Even though it doesn't look that used, I don't really burn through a lot of eyeshadow. Okay. Now, if I do use a bronzer, which I don't every day, I like the Laura Mercier Warm Bronze Mineral Powder, and it has a slight shimmer, And what I'll do is tap some into the cover and buff my brush in. And then I'll just apply it. So if you like a matte bronzer, this is not for you. Sorry. But I like the tone of the color and the slight sheen and the glow. So in summertime I love wearing this, especially if I'm wearing the Chanel New Moon Cream Shadow. And I will show you my favorite brush to apply it. Is the Sephora 55 Pro Airbrush. This one has a fancy handle. And this one has a fancy handle, but they sell it in their regular line with a black handle. And I like the size and the density of the bristles. They're very, very flexible. So I use this for blush or for bronzer because I think it applies it very well. And then for finishing powders, I picked 3. And the first one is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And it's just really nice setting powder. I think it works well with my oily skin. And I find that my makeup stays on a little longer when I use it. And my other favorite is this Guerlain Compact. And it used to have a pretty design on it, but I've worn it off. And this is called the Les Violets Transparent Mattifying Veil. And I have the number 3 shade in medium. And one of the reasons I like this so much, it's silly, but it's the smell. It smells like the Guerlain Meteorites. It has that violet scent. And it does cover well, and it's very finely milled. I don't think that I would purchase this again based on the price, but I'm really enjoying having it now. And then my third favorite powder is the MAC Prep and Prime Loose Powder. It's the transparent finishing powder. And it's just very finely milled white powder. When you put it on your skin, it just blends in. And makes your face look very smooth and airbrushed. And then one last product that's not very exciting, but that I really like. It's the Paula's Choice Shine Stopper Instant Matte Finish Oil Control. And what I use this for, I keep it in my purse, and it's kind of just a white lotiony looking product, and I'll put a pea-size amount on my fingers. Sorry, they're dirty from the eyeshadow. And then I'll just pat it on my face where I'm oily, like on my nose or forehead, and it instantly mattifies without having to add powder, which I really like. So it's a nice touch-up option, and I keep it in my purse all the time. So look at all this crazy makeup. I don't use it all every day. Most days I'll use this. I'll touch up with the foundation stick. I'll use an eyeliner, mascara, and a blush, and then one of these like lip balm products. With this foundation, I don't need the powders, but when I use others, I'll use the powders as well. And so, with all of these, I've already shown you my favorite bronzer brush, and then my favorite blush brush is another Sephora Pro airbrush. It's the blush Usade number 49, and you can tell I've used it with this guy. I like the density, and I prefer the angle brushes for blush, and I find it just works really well to apply something and buff it out. It doesn't over apply product, and it blends really well. And then my other favorite powder brush is this one, Makeup Forever Professional. It has a nice wooden handle, and this is number 128, the straight and wavy. And what I'll do is I'll just take powder, I'll dip it in, maybe rub it around in the cap, and then I'll just sweep it with the flat side on my face, or buff if I need to. Mostly I just sweep the powder on, and I use this one almost every day. And the last ones are favorite eyeshadow brushes for my cream eyeshadows. I like the Marc Jacobs, the conceal brush, and it has a angled, dense brush head, and I find it can pick up the product and just apply it very nice. And I use a synthetic brush with my cream eyeshadows so that the bristles don't absorb as much product. And then for all over color, I just have a cheap Coastal Scents BRCNO2, and this I use for applying color to the lid and to put color in the crease or to blend out. My favorites are the Sephora Pro Tapered Crease number 19, and this is one of my favorite brushes for eyeshadow, as well as the Wayne Goss number 3. Finally, I just have a couple of smudgers that I use with eyeliner. Stila number 34 and the Tarantino number 74 smudge. So these are my go-to brushes. And this is my go-to makeup. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that I'll see you again